Okay.
Okay, here's Jasmine Grim, December 14th, 2017, rough draft of her speech.
The rise of autism as children makes people wonder what autism really is. I could give you the official definition, but I would prefer you to give you my definition. Autism is a disorder that affects a person's communication and social abilities. For those who don't know, the official name for autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is the official name for autism spectrum disorder is or ASD. Emphasis on the word spectrum. It is defined by a certain set of behaviors that affect different individuals differently and to varying degrees. Some common symptoms of autism are no total eye contact, lack of or delay in verbal communication, heightened sensitivity to stimuli, and repetitive behaviors or language, such as flapping your hands. Let's say that this area of the room represents the low end of the spectrum and that this area of the room represents the high end of the spectrum. The lower end is where the screaming and crying due to overstimulation, not brattiness or what have you. Those who know verbal communication, repetitive behaviors, and self-harm are very apparent. The higher end is more subtle. These autistic individuals are very bright, and although they have symptoms of autism, for the most part they are less severe. They're often seen as normal people with some quirks. High-functioning autistics are able to live a mostly normal life and be able to become a functional member of society. I am on the very high end of the spectrum. I am diagnosed with persuasive developmental disorder, not otherwise specified, or PDD in the West. Long word, I know. This means that I don't exhibit all the symptoms of autism, only some. For example, many autistic people, they don't like being touched. On the other hand, I love hugs, and I permit physical contact. But at the same time, I have social and communication issues. I am sensitive to certain stimuli, such as strong smells and loud noise. This sensitivity is why I don't like my music too loud, and why I definitely refuse to go to a Bath and Body Works store without a gas mask. Keep in mind that although autism cannot be cured, constant therapy can greatly improve autistic individuals' chances of living a normal life. In some cases, children initially born on the lower end of the spectrum can eventually move up to the higher end of the spectrum with constant and effective therapy. Early intervention is very important. When children are very young, their neuroplasticity or ability to learn things is high. But as they get older, it decreases. When this plasticity decreases, it becomes more difficult to learn new skills. I started receiving therapy at 4 years old. My parents also helped me a lot, especially my father. He would force me to look at him when we were talking, took me to places with a lot of stimuli, and disrupt my internal schedule by springing last minute things on me. My parents would also force me to try new things, such as food. Today, although I still have a few issues with sensitivity to stimuli and communication issues, most people won't even think I was autistic. And that's it.
3 minutes, 40 seconds.